It's so nice to have everyone here this morning. I'm Petra Sultan. I'm the Senior Programs Director, sorry, new title, for Thrive, the Alliance of Nonprofits for San Mateo County. And on behalf of San Francisco Peninsula People Power and Diane Leeds and Sarah O'Brien from the Elections Office. Welcome, nice to see you here. Nice to see some new faces as well. What I'd love everyone to do is to introduce yourself in chat while I'm doing the introduction, and let us know who you are, your organization, and your favorite way to vote. So, do you like to mail? Do you like to go into a vote center? What's your favorite thing to do? Okay. Next slide. So Thrive is the Alliance of Nonprofits for San Mateo County, and I wanted to give you a little bit of information about some events that are coming up that you might be interested in. Next slide. So on September 8th, in person, we're going to be doing an event around profits in housing, what to know and what to do. I think we all can agree that housing is an issue in San Mateo County. And so for people who are interested in knowing more about the housing elements, which is an opportunity to have some influence on what each city is planning for their housing in the next decade, please come to this. It'll be really informative and will be a great opportunity also to just catch up with everyone and be in person. Next slide. We're continuing with our wellness series for anyone who works in a nonprofit. We're really open to anyone who needs some more wellness. This is an ongoing series that we're doing, and it is virtual. Next slide. This is something new that we're doing with our Children in Education tag, and the idea is to really build community between community-based organizations that serve children and school districts, because as we all know, that relationship is absolutely vital when you're talking about serving the child holistically. And we're going to have a whole summit with an opportunity to build those relationships. So any organization that works with children is welcome to come. Next slide. So we're sorry about the background noise. We're going to be holding candidate forums for Congressional 15th District, the Board of Supervisors District 2, Board of Supervisors District 3. We have it's all up for those and out on our website. And next slide. And this is another new project for us. It's a first annual climate summit for San Mateo County on October 3rd, and it is open to everyone. And the idea is really to have everyone who's interested and concerned and affected by climate in the same room at the same time. So with that, oh, sorry, one more. We're also going to be doing ballot initiatives, pros and cons, presented by the San Mateo County League of Women Voters. We have 8 ballot initiatives this year, and it'll be very helpful to learn about how they will affect us. So with that, I want to go ahead and tell you what the agenda is for today. So we're going to first, hopefully everyone's put their introduction in chat. If we have time, we'll do live introductions, but we actually have a pretty packed agenda, so I want to make sure that we get to everything. We'll start with with the elections division update, and I will turn it over to Sarah O'Brien for that, or maybe Hillary.
Actually, we had agreed upon doing a switch because of a little mix-up about what time the meeting was started.
Okay, so thank you, Sarah. So I will turn it over to my colleague Yahaira Ortega, who's going to explain about the elections toolkit.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Give me a quick second while I put the slides up one more time. I hope you all are having a good morning. So let's get into it. And Sarah or Diane or Petra, feel free to jump in with anything. So we are presenting our election education toolkit that we offered in the June primaries. We got a lot of great feedback, so we're providing that information again. So for those that are new and not familiar with the election education toolkit, it's outreach materials to help nonprofit organization and leaders to educate their community in this November election. And this toolkit was sponsored by the Grow Foundation and created by Thrive. And the support that we offer is we will create all outreach materials that I will go over during this presentation, plus a $1,500 stipend. And then I'll provide an Excel sheet where people can sign up if you're interested to learn more. And I'll do that after this presentation. So why is it important to vote? Many of you here are familiar, but elections are decided on small margins, right? So every vote counts. And we've known some elections that have passed just by a couple of votes. And here I have some examples. In Woodside, only 5 votes. EPA, there was 15 votes, right? This is a small margin of people voting and deciding the outcome. So in San Mateo County and across California, most of these folks, Latinx, Asian, and youth vote at a significantly lower rates than white or older voters. And we're all familiar with this concept. And just so you know, we had a 38.4% voter turnout in the June primary election. Not too bad, but we all know we can do better. All right, so let's go over who is eligible to vote. So here's the criteria: a United States citizen and a resident of California. You must be 18 years or older on election day, not currently serving a state or federal prison term for a conviction of a felony, and not currently found mentally incompetent to vote by court. Okay. I'm sure everyone's familiar with those criteria. Let's go over how to vote. So here I provided different ways. I know in the chat, we all put in our favorite way to vote. Mine is personally to go in person. I just feel so prideful and proud to go in person and just cast my ballot. So it's super exciting time for me. But I know a favorite here in the crowd is vote by mail. So make sure that you can get your vote by mail with postmarked by the day of the election, Tuesday, November 8th. And another way you can do it is you can drop off your ballot at any Dropbox or vote center locations, and you can check the website here. All of this information will be on smcvote.org. You can also vote in person, which is my favorite. And you can vote in person at any vote center, and I'll go over vote center hours and timeline in the next slides, but you can also use that to drop off your ballot or vote with an accessible voting machine, register to vote, different opportunities at vote by center in a vote center location. You can also just get help with understanding what's going on with your ballot and just clarification. Another way is remote accessible vote by mail system. You can mark your ballot and print it from your computer, mail or take your voted ballots or drop it off at a Dropbox or vote center. Okay, next slide. Let's see. So when to vote? Here's that timeline that I was promising. So voting will start on Tuesday, October 11th. 3 vote centers will open from 9 to 5, and check smcvote.org for information on those vote centers. On Saturday, October 29th, 9 vote centers will open from 9 to 5. And on Saturday, November 5th through Tuesday, November 8th, all 45 vote centers will be opened. And the hours are 9 to 5 as well. Then we have special hours here on the last day to vote, which is Tuesday, November 8th, and all vote centers will be open from 7 to 8 p.m. And as I said before, the vote by mail ballot must be postmarked on or before Tuesday, November 8th. Alrighty. So what are some common reasons that your ballot can get rejected? So ballots that are not received during the deadline, so anything that's received after the deadline or not postmarked by November 8th can be rejected, are rejected. Signature, when the signature does not match your registration card, your ID card. So make sure that this signature right here on the back of the ballot is signed the way you signed on your driver's license. Make sure it matches up. And some people surprisingly don't sign their ballots, or some may sign their spouse's ballot. So just make sure you're signing the right ballot and you're signing right on this X line on this red box in the back of your ballot. Alrighty. So what are we going to offer? So as you can see here, the election toolkit is actually a trifold document, front and back, that includes what, when, how, who, everything that I went over in the beginning, with all the resources down at the bottom, QR codes. Just makes it easy to have all you need when you're out tabling, when you're talking to people. Everything is in this one trifold. It's a single paper, and it's just really easy to access. This, don't mind the dates, this is just for the primary election. Our updated election toolkit is almost ready to go. So like I said, you'll receive the threefold with basics, I voted sticker. So here's a I voted, did you sticker, which is a fun one, right? And then at the top, it'll say the last day to vote is November 8th. And then we have these cute future voter stickers. So I think it's a fun way to interact with kids and interact with their parents. And it's a fun way to get young people excited to vote. I know that during elections, a lot of people are excited to get that sticker after they voted, but this is something that the kids can look forward to. So we have these awesome stickers, and we will also provide you with a pledge card. So if you're out there tabling and someone registered to vote with you and they're pledging that they can vote, they can have this pledge card and sign it. It's proven that if people sign something saying that they'll commit to something, they'll most likely follow through. So it's a fun way to kind of gauge commitment with people that you're talking to. We will also provide bookmarks, voter registration forms in the language that you request, and sample ballots. I see Marnie has her hand up. Marnie, is that a question?
Yeah, I'll just wait until you finish the presentation.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Too soon. Go ahead.
Alrighty. Oh, here we are. We're at the end of the presentation. So like I said, this is my email and this is Sarah's email. Sarah O'Brien works for the elections office. If you have any clarification questions, she's awesome. And if you have any specific questions about the toolkit, then you can email me. Like I said, I'm gonna put the Excel sheet in the chat that will allow us to sign up. If you're interested, sign up on the spreadsheet. If you're interested in receiving the toolkit and qualifying for the stipend, please note that on there. And I'm excited to talk to you more if this is something you want to pursue for you or your community members. Alrighty. Any thoughts from Sarah, Diane, or Petra? Diane, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I mean, I mostly just wanted to see if you could expand a little bit about the stipend, who is eligible for it, whether you have to be associated with a nonprofit or because like we're doing some things potentially with high school students. So if you could give us a little more information about who is eligible for a stipend.
Yeah, that's a great question. The stipend will go directly to nonprofit organizations, C3. Of course, you have to follow all the guidelines. You have to be nonpartisan. So that's ideally who the stipend would go for. And then what the stipend is used for, that's to the discretion of the nonprofit. In the primary, some of the stipends were used for food, for events. It was used for the promotora programs. So there's just different ways that you can use it, but the stipend will go directly to the nonprofit organization. Petra, did I miss anything?
And I just want to make it clear that it's only eligible for San Mateo County, because I've noticed there's some people who are who work across counties and outside of the county as well. And the other thing I wanted to clarify is that this is a great toolkit. We only have a certain number of stipends, but we are happy to share the information electronically with anyone who's interested. So it's not an exclusive club. We'd be happy to get as many stipends out as we have money for, but after that, we'll give it out electronically. And some of the materials we've included in there actually aren't ours. The bookmarks and the voter registration is from the elections office. So obviously that is available to anyone as well. Marnie?
Yeah, hi, good morning, everyone. And the education toolkit is great. We're definitely going to sign up for that for all of our tabling. My question was actually about the stipend, and many of us on the call have received a stipend or a grant from the Board of Supervisors and SBCF in the past. So is the stipend separate from that? Or is that something?
Let me clarify that, because that's actually a really, really important clarification.
Okay,
so
thanks.
Thrive has gotten a grant from the Grove Foundation to do the toolkits. Separate from that, there will be, and we'll get some clarification from the elections office, funds available through SVCF. Those funds come from the elections office. It's part of their outreach budget. So I want to give kudos to the elections office for sharing their outreach budget directly with community-based organizations, because that is kind of unique in the state and a really cool and fantastic thing. And they put in $150,000. I don't know what the timeline is for that, but I'm sure Sarah or Tom or somebody would like to can answer that when we get to their portion. So it's two different things. The grants tend to be larger. The stipends really are stipends. They're not grants. The idea is that an organization can take that to kind of cover their costs, get people to come to things, have food for events or babysitting for events, that kind of thing, but to use it for events that they're already doing with community members that they already have contact with. So there's a slightly different focus.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Lillian?
Yes, hi, good morning. I have a quick question on this education outreach toolkit. You have also like social media posts, or is only like you were gonna do like in-person tabling events?
That's a great question, Lillian. So Thrive does social media, but one of the things we implemented during the June primaries was the fact that we were supporting, collaborating with other organizations. So we would uplift. So if the league posted something, that was something that we would repost as so that we're having the same consistent information going throughout the county. We didn't provide any social media templates, but always feel free to repost. But that's something we can take into consideration for this November election. The easiest way to do it is to subscribe to our social media and look at the posts that we're posting based on how the election is going.
Okay, thank you.
Makes sense? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
You can also always repost the from the elections office as well. They also do a lot of social media.
Thank you.
Hi, Yahira.
Hi, Mary.
I actually shared some of my posts with you from my social media. So I was wondering what you did with that.
Yeah. We were able to repost it. Are you talking for the June primary?
Yeah, for the June primaries.
Yeah, if you submitted it before the primary election, we were able to repost it. And that's something that I can work with. If you all are interested, you can send me your social media and we can circulate that through this group. But if you sent Marianne, if you're talking about the social media that you sent me after the primary, that's just for reporting details. But thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And also, as far as reporting for both for the grants that are going from the elections office through SVCF and the toolkit, we've made every effort in the world to make the reporting super easy. We don't want anyone to be scared off by the reporting. For the toolkit, all it is a 10-minute phone call with Yahira saying how it went. And the reporting from SVCF also is relatively straightforward. So.
Okay, another question. Instead of reaching out to, I don't know who, but can I just go to the elections office and pick up stacks of registration cards and all the materials, because I can't wait sometimes for, yeah, and I have just really, I distribute a large quantity of these materials.
You can. This is Sarah from the elections office, and we would love to have you come by. And if you're picking up more than 50 forms, we ask that you fill out a very brief little form of our own that is asking for your name and address and how you plan to use those cards. Like some events you're going to, something like that, because we're finding that most people are not using up 50 cards. So many people register online that, unless you're going to several events, you might not need quite as many. You might want 5 in one language, 5 in another language, etc. So it all depends what you need, but come on in and we'll work it out with each person and or group individually and get you what you need.
Okay, so I should reach out to you? You would be the
Just
contact?
come in the office. Like you said, can you come by? And I said, yes, you can reach out to me, but feel free to just come in the office, the elections office, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and all of us can help you here.
All right, thank you so much.
And Sarah,
You're welcome.
Just to continue on with what you said, you have voter registration forms, but you also will have all kinds of quarter sheets, bookmarks in multiple languages. Do you want to let us know what is available from the elections office for people to come and pick up?
Well, we've got a lot of artwork ready. We're waiting on now some purchase orders to get to the printer, but when it is ready, as you mentioned, it'll have these quarter sheets that are, about a quarter of a page, of a letter-sized page, and one side is English, the other side is in Spanish on some, Chinese on some, Filipino, and Tongan, and let's see, the bookmarks similar. We'll have the Chinese, Spanish, and Filipino. There we go, our hand model, just like Vanna. We have Diane showing a quarter sheet, a whole pack of 250, and they're very handy to give out. We'd like to know in advance. Last time we printed a lot of material in June and no one seemed to need it. So, if in previous elections, people wanted thousands of copies of things, of course, we do give them out to the bookmarks to the libraries. They'll take 6,000, and Second Harvest, I think we have someone on the line, they're going to have their own particular sheet. So it covers both Santa Clara and San Mateo counties, because they can't separate who they're distributing to that way, to one county or another. But again, if you can let us know now, we'll have copies in the right language sitting on the desk waiting for you to pick up right before Labor Day. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. And we also will have the list of vote centers on one side and drop boxes list on the other side. Those only have come in one language because of, Spanish on one will be Spanish, Filipino, English, of course, and Chinese. Of those, we have register to vote postcards that go through every door direct mail out in the East Palo Alto area and the Daly City area, but we also can use them as flyers. They have information about registering to vote in 5 different languages on the one sheet. So that might be handy for some of you. I think that covers most of the things. Some things for registering to vote for the pre-register 16 to 17 and register at 18.
And we will include any of that information that you want in the toolkit for those of you who are getting it dropped off. Julie.
Hi, so I wanted to ask you, Sarah, about the boxes, those very large drop boxes. Are you on the phone now?
She's on the phone with us. Her sound isn't working.
Oh, okay, excellent. So we have a box in front of the Boys and Girls Club that is blocking the stairs to come up.
Oh, no.
It's just it's in the wrong place. And so I sent pictures to someone on your team, and then I kind of dropped the ball. But it's the one in Menlo Park. Someone needs to go over and look at it. It's 401 Pierce Road. And it just needs to be moved.
Okay, is that the Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah, it needs to be moved 15 feet down the street, closer to the corner, farther away from the garden.
Okay, I will get that message out today to take a look. I can't guarantee on the exact 15 feet business, but would you be the contact person, or they should have someone?
I'm happy to, but I also have a couple of pictures of someone standing where we want it. So as soon as you get whoever it is, I can just text them the pictures and they'll know exactly where to put it. It's blocking, it's blocking the stairs. And so it's making it hard for people to go up the stairs and get into the building.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, and wish we'd been able to move that for you sooner. But now maybe someone just didn't get the message or went to the wrong place, and we'll take care of it shortly.
Thank you. It could have easily also been me that dropped the ball. I knew I was coming to this meeting today, and I wanted to make sure I said something to the elections office. I'll send you in the chat my phone number, okay? And whoever it is can text me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Sarah, I was wondering if you wanted to make introductions to the rest of your team that's here today.
Well, I think I don't see Hillary in picture yet. I'm hoping she'll turn her camera on for a moment. Hillary O'Connor, who there she is rocking at her desk, is one of our election specialist supervisors, who's most of you know. She's also the voter registration queen, and I'm just her little pauper with that. And then also we have a new person for this meeting. We have Thomas Day, and Thomas has recently joined our office as an election specialist supervisor. He comes to us with lots more military training. We've got Hillary military training, boy. So Thomas, if you want to say hi to the group, we'd appreciate it.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here and to learn more about your organization.
Thanks, Tom. And I'm seeing, let's see if Jim has joined us. Let's see, I do not see him yet, but I know Jim is joining any minute now. I'm afraid he's driving to the elections office and joining as soon as he gets in so he can be on video. And everyone can see him and his expressions when he's speaking, as well as not just hearing a voice.
While we're waiting, Diane, do you want to give us some updates on San Francisco Peninsula People's Power's plans? That was a tongue twister.
Sure. Well, so a couple of things. I'll actually pass it over to Ron Zusek, who's with People Power, who's spearheading our high school voter registration outreach. So Ron, why don't you start with that, and then I'll pick up anything else that we need to get across.
Sure. Well, welcome. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the introduction, Diane. My name is Ron Sushek. We at San Francisco Peninsula People Power have just started a new partnership with an LA-based nonpartisan nonprofit called the Civics Center. Just a few years old, but their whole mission is to try to get youth engaged in civics, and largely through youth-driven voter registration drives. So they have a massive plan nationally to try to get high school students to have student voter registration drives. We have partnered with them for San Mateo County and are reaching out to public high schools here in the county, here in the county, to try to have students run student-led student voter registration drives for their National High School Student Voter Registration Week, which is September 19 to 23. So excited to be working with them for the first time here in San Mateo County, also doing some work with them in other parts of the country as well, to get some other strategic school districts and counties to have more youth voting as well.
Thanks, Ron. Yeah, in terms of other things that we're doing, I mean, we've actually signed up to go to the Kasayahan Sa event up in Daly City in October. It's a Filipino-American cultural event, which we went to back in 2018 up in Daly City, and it was a great event. It really got us in front of a lot of folks that we don't normally see. In terms of other events, we haven't really completely nailed down everything else that we're doing. Trying to think of anything else that I think a lot of us is just spending a lot of time trying to get the Civics Center project off the ground.
Thank you, Diane. I would like, after we get the elections office updates, I actually would like everyone to share about what they're doing, so that we can really coordinate as much as possible, because often we find out when people are talking about what they're doing that there's a lot of opportunity for collaboration. So it seems like Jim's having a hard time with his audio, so I'm going to hold on just one more second and ask. Thrive is actually starting a new program where we're going to be kind of a hub for translators. So if any of your organizations have translators they work with, that they like, please send it over to us. Because we really would like to know, to have a list for everyone that'll be available, and we'll actually be offering subsidies as well for translations for nonprofit organizations. So you can reach out to Yahira or put it in the chat if you have any great translators that you work with, and to any language that you need translation for in San Mateo County, which is a lot of languages. For the next VEOAC meeting, it will be on September 21st, and we're going to be alternating in person and well, hybrid. We'll always have a call-in option and online. So when we do it in person, we do it at 9:30 to make sure everybody can get there. But when it's just online, then we do 9 o'clock. So with that, Sarah, I will hand it back to you, and you can give us the elections office update and hopefully be able to hand it to Jim. I keep seeing his like connecting to audio happening, so I'm not sure if it's working for him yet.
Well, perhaps we could go ahead and do the round robin part first, because Jim, I'm sure, would really like to be the one to give the update today, since he's been able to join us.
Oh, there he is. Now I see him. It looks like he's getting tech support. Hey, Jim, are you all set?
And I hear him. I heard his voice.
One moment, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, terrific. Well, good morning, everybody. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties here, but great to see all of you. So anyway, where are we at with respect to the presentation? Would you like me to give an overview on the election, or where are we exactly?
Yes, we're ready for your overview of the election activities.
Well, great. I think first and foremost, I think it's important to realize that this is now going to be the largest gubernatorial general election in the history of San Mateo County. And the result is because there's a convergence of laws that have come into play here for this election. Obviously, the Voters' Choice Act back in 2018, but then in subsequent years, in 2019, we had the SB 415, which basically moved governing board elections of all jurisdictions to even numbered years. Prior to that, San Mateo County, with its 70 jurisdictions, pretty much had elections on odd and even numbered years, which means we probably held elections for around 35 jurisdictions any one election. With SB 415, that required that all governing board elections be held on even numbered years. And that had to occur by 2022. So all of the jurisdictions that passed resolutions to change their dates are now in full effect for this election. So that's why we have a large number of elections, a large number of candidates participating. Just some really quick numbers here. We have about 247 candidates that have filed as of today. We have 25 school districts, 20 special districts, 1 regional district, and 20 cities participating in this election. So that's a lot of jurisdictions. As I said, we run around 70, but when you start splitting some of those jurisdictions up into actual districts, the number of jurisdictions are really kind of grow exponentially. In Redwood City's case, even though they're one of our 70 jurisdictions, Redwood City was split up into 7 districts. So those are 7 different elections that we're going to have to run for that particular jurisdiction. Not all at the same election, but because they are scattered, but nevertheless, that number of jurisdictions grows exponentially with district elections. One good indicator of an election and the size of an election are ballot styles, which are unique to the actual voter and the residence where the voter is at. And that brings together for that specific voter, the city, the school district, the water district, fire districts, everything that's on that ballot for that particular residence. And last election, which was one of the highest number of ballot styles that we had in the primary, we had 130. Excuse me, we had only 20. The largest election prior to this, we had 130. This June election, we had 20 ballot styles. For the November general election, we will have over 175 ballot styles in this election, which is again the largest number of ballot styles that we have. I invite all of you to come and see how we construct the official ballot and the complexity that it takes to put together that official ballot with all of our elections information management system, our geographical information systems, vote count, all of the information that we have here. It has to all come together to create that one ballot style. And we're doing that right now. So highly complex process, and ballot styles are a good indicator of the complexity of an election. So we have 175, the most in the history of the county. We'll have 45 vote centers. We'll have one mobile one mobile vote center. We will have 3 pop-ups in addition to the 45s, and those are vote centers that are not necessarily open for the full 4-day period before the election. They may be open the Monday and the Tuesday of the election. We'll have 50 drop boxes. We'll have approximately 100, anywhere between 200 to 300 and plus voting machines that'll be deployed in this election, plus 2 printers for each vote center. We'll have 4 to 6 e-poll books per vote center also, which are critical in expediting the processing of voters who come to vote in person at a vote center. Those e-poll books have just been tremendous. And they also allow people to see through our wait time widget, the wait times at each vote center. So if you go on our website, you'll be able to go to the vote centers and see exactly what the specific wait times are. And that usually is on election day. Most days before election day, there are very little wait times because the vote centers aren't really heavily utilized much before election day. But that wait time widget is really important because everybody seems to show up on election day to vote, and then you can pin down exactly how long you're going to be waiting at any particular vote center. We're going to be mailing out 3 postcards. They start out on September 20, no, excuse me, 3 postcards. We will be sending out the sample ballot on September 29th. But back to the postcard, every registered voter will get at least 3 direct contacts from our office. The statutory requirement is at least 2 postcards. We go for 3 in San Mateo County. The last day to register to vote will be October 24th. And right now, I guess the most important thing that we really do need help on from all of you is to help hire staff for this election. We will be looking at 250 plus vote center representatives, 125 adult volunteers, plus 125 students, and that's just in the vote centers. We have ballot retrieval, 30 staff members, 24 staff members in the warehouse. We have also our vote by mail unit. And all in all, we'll probably have close to 800 people deployed for this election. And we're in the process of recruiting. And we're going out, we're pulling all stops. We're working, of course, with HR, our unions. We're also putting ads, we're probably using some billboards, but we need help in filling those positions. So if you could please help us, that's great. Sarah's working with Tom here to do some advertising on billboards to get the word out for the need of election workers. There's a lot more, but I think that's enough right now to digest in just a few minutes. It's a huge election, and we obviously have a very robust voter education and outreach program, and that is just starting to pick up right now with all of the different advertising and outreach that we will do. So on that, I'll stop, and if there's any questions that you might have, please feel free to fire them over.
Jim, thank you so much for those updates, and we really do appreciate how complicated this election is. And I think as part of our voter outreach, one of the things we're doing is trying to explain district elections to people who don't understand it, because there are a lot of places where that is switched over. And I don't know about if everyone else here, if anybody has any questions about district elections, let us know, but it's definitely something that's coming up for people to, as something new to understand. I wanted to check in with you about timeline. You mentioned before that you would go ahead and do the very generous voter outreach grants again to the community-based organizations. Do you know what the timeline is for that?
We're meeting, I believe, this week. That is in the court of Travis Dunn, who handles that program for us. I know that he's been in touch with Jack Mahoney from Silicon Valley Foundation, and we recently got the report. So meetings are being set up as we speak. We should be pretty much on the same track as we were last year with some minor modifications, but in terms of the funds, we'll look at a similar amount. Again, we have to get it funded by the Board of Supervisors, and well, first we've got to get approved by the county manager and budget office. And we had that for June, and we just got word yesterday that we have approval for those funds for this election. So we are good to go with those funds.
Terrific. That is great news. And for everybody on the call, we'll send out an email with specifics about how to apply for those funds as soon as we get the green light.
Hi, Jim. I just put a note in the chat to you about hiring at Redwood City's county office.
Great. Coordinating our recruitment is Tom Day here, and also Travis Dunn. And Sarah's taking a little role in that, or big role in helping us market some of that. But all of that information, please get it to us. We have information you can get on our website. You can get it directly here. Folks can call Tom. Tom is coordinating all of that for the most part. Although we have another supervisor, Chantal, who's not here today, Chantal Gonzalez, and she too will be working on those regroupings. But please, thank you. The more information we get, the better it's going to be for all of us.
So can you, Tom, put your contact information in the chat, if you will?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions for the elections office? If not, we'll go to sharing, and I'd love to hear what everyone's working on for their elections outreach. Any more questions for Jim or Sarah or Tom? Hillary? Okay. Margie, you just took yourself off, put your camera on. So do you want to share what the league is working on in the North County?
Sure. Thank you. We are just getting in contact, or city clerks and other sponsors are reaching out to us for candidate forums. As Jim mentioned, we cover lots and lots of municipalities and special districts, so that makes for lots and lots of candidate forums. So we are just gearing up for that, plus pro-con presentations of the ballot propositions. Yahira mentioned one that the league is doing with Thrive, and we will be doing others for other organizations and for the public. And of course, we'll get out there to register voters and all the other good stuff. And we look forward to getting the election toolkit and the elections office materials from everybody that will help us. And Sarah, I'll be zipping by the elections office later today, because I think I have old voter registration forms that I don't think we need. I think that's it for us. Thank you.
Who would
And
like?
I'll pick Marnie down in South County to say what they're going to do.
Thanks, Margie. I'm actually going to pass it to Betsy Colby, who is our new voter services director. I'm still on the team, but we've passed the baton over to Betsy for the next couple of years. So I'm going to ask her to go ahead and do that, and then I can follow up a little later. Betsy?
All right, good. We're very similar to Margie, looking at candidate forums. We have a smaller area, so it's not quite as overwhelming. Pro and con, and Marnie's going to be helping with tabling, and it looks like the partnership with the San Francisco Peninsula People Power into the high schools looks like a really good opportunity.
Great. Who else would like to share what the outreach is that they're working on?
I'm happy to go. This is Jane Ferguson Flood. I'm with Catholic Charities, and we operate in 3 counties in San Mateo County, San Francisco, and Marin counties. And we regularly, for elections, have a web page that we promote, just for folks to know how, accessible voting for everyone in the 3 counties, with information with each of these counties, how to vote. Also, if places are looking for volunteers or hiring staff, we promote all those links that are valuable to our populations that we serve to know about and participate in the process. So yeah, that's what we're involved in. And then what we do is do social media tweets on various efforts to drive people back to the webpage. And we have a board-led public interest committee where we advocate for certain measures that pertain to the clients we serve. So that's what we're actively looking at right now, is which measures we're going to be supporting in our 3 counties, also statewide initiatives. Thanks.
Great. I think is that Mike on the phone with your hand up?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, so this would be ACLU, both Northern California and also our North Peninsula chapter in San Mateo County. Basically, we're going to be doing Get Out the Vote. We have a group of youth volunteers who are going to particularly target youth and go through social media, text banking, etc., probably closer to the election or registration deadline. And then, as usual, put out positions, as was just mentioned, on particular ballot propositions that are civil liberties related. Sometimes there's some strange language in propositions that doesn't mean what it sounds like. So that's kind of what we're doing. And by the way, on the initial chat question, I basically vote two ways. I vote in person in the even years when there's lots of stuff on the ballot, and I mail it in the odd years when there's one or two things on the ballot. So, voter's choice.
Thank you, Mike, for sharing. Julie, you're next. Don't forget to tell us your organization.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm Julie Shanson from Bellhaven Action, and we are excited to work with Thrive Again on voter outreach. The training stuff was great. Our outreach team really liked it. We hire youth from the neighborhood. We have between 5 and 7 folks that go out and do canvassing and tabling. And we have a 5-day-a-week PCR COVID testing site that we also man to provide a place for people to find us. And we are offering blood pressure and glucose tests third Wednesday of the month starting today. But our election outreach is really important to us. And so it is with these youth that we are at the site and tabling and walking around. Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. Eric?
Hello, I'm Eric Sapp, staff attorney at Legal Services for Prisoners with Children. And we do advocacy for currently and formerly incarcerated persons and their loved ones. We're interested in a campaign to improve and increase awareness among jail populations of their voting rights and to increase turnout. And so we're exploring the possibility of trying to get a campaign led by formerly incarcerated persons to do voter outreach inside the jails. It's a challenging thing in that for persons with felony convictions, they have to get the direct permission from the sheriff's office in order to do that. We think it's important to have persons who are system impacted sort of leading the efforts of this sort of outreach program, in the sense that sometimes persons who are system impacted have a trust issue with, shall we say, the sheriff's department, so are maybe less likely to receive information that's coming through those channels, or may have some hesitancy in participating in some sorts of campaigns. So anyway, if anyone has any ideas about that you want to share with me about best practices, or want to get involved in that sort of effort, you can contact me offline. I'll put my email address in the chat, and I look forward to talking further. And I appreciate Sarah O'Brien reached out to me on a previous occasion, and we had a communication difficulty, and I missed didn't receive her message before, but I want to acknowledge her willingness to engage in this dialogue. Thank you very much for hosting this, everyone, and this seems like a great group.
This is Mike Levinson. I just had a quick question I didn't get your affiliation, who you're working with.
Yes, I work for a nonprofit organization called Legal Services for Prisoners with Children, and we have we have a grassroots unit called All of Us or None, and I'll put my contact info in the chat. and look forward to speaking with people at a later time as well. Thanks.
I was just going to mention that it's possible you might get some help from the private defender's office, which you may know already. But
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear what you said. Could you repeat that?
you might get help from the private defender's office. You may know that already, but they deal directly, with the people in jail and prison. So they might have a superior method of accessing the people you want to access.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Eric. And Eric will put his number in chat, but I know there are several other people on this call who have been working to get better communication within the jails. And so hopefully you guys can connect. Ben, you're next.
Yeah, thank you, Petra. So CID is working within.
Ben, tell everybody what CID is.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I always forget to do that because I like the short version. It is Center for Independence of Individuals with Disabilities. And we are working within Disability Vote California to do voter education forums. I believe I've spoken to them in previous meetings at least once. We do have one coming up this Friday, and it's really to get people, get their questions answered and have the panel and attendees speak about their voting experiences to get people prepared to vote and know what to expect and how to really in a nonpartisan way kind of show how candidates are around disability issues and talk about some of their ideas around disability issues. So again, it is a statewide coalition, so it'll be fairly broad. So that's coming up on Friday. And in terms of other outreaches, I'm definitely going to follow up with Thrive in regards to the toolkit. And also, I do know we were involved in the primaries, candidate forums around the primaries. So eager to know if we're going to continue that on for the general election. But that's my report.
So thank you for the prompt, Ben. Thrive is going to be hosting the candidate forums for the 15th Congressional District, District 2 and District 3. And if anybody is interested in asking questions of the candidates, we are asking our nonprofit members to contribute questions and even ask them live. And 2 of those will be in person. So if you are interested, please reach out to me or Yahira for that. Okay, Ben. No, I'm sorry, you finished?
Yeah, I guess while I'm still at the floor, I guess I'm CID is still interested in that. So
excellent.
We'll be right there with you.
Okay, terrific. Pam.
Good morning, and it is so exciting to see so many new people particularly, and not only new people, but new organizations. I had working with Belhaven Empowered, and although we don't have a candidate in our district that has to be elected because our candidate is unopposed, our council member, but we do have a ballot measure that significantly affects our community. So by educating people about the value of voting and the importance of voting on ballot measures, which usually seem unimportant, we're looking forward as we work with Belhaven Action to having a significant amount of people vote in the Belhaven neighborhood. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Pam, and just reiterate what a good point that is. 2 good points. One, very excited to see new people here, but also that the ballot initiatives are important. So even if you don't have a local election, there's plenty to educate yourself on and to get people interested in, because those do affect everyone. Karen.
Good morning. I'm Karen Alden, and my organization is Good to Know Network. And we're an online community for childcare providers and early learning providers throughout San Mateo County. We have a newsletter that goes out to about 500 people in San Mateo County every Friday. So we'll be posting articles about making sure you register to vote, how to vote, voting. And I think now we will do one on ballot initiatives, because that's an important one that we haven't done before. We also will be posting the League of Women Voters social media on our Instagram and Facebook site or platforms. And then we are planning to do a couple of in-person meet and greets. We haven't gotten the details down yet, but we're thinking, at a park in probably one in North County and one in South County. So it'd be a meet and greet, and then it would be also, like voting materials, and we'll probably have a few mugs and t-shirts we can also provide. So that's it.
Thanks, Karen. Mariam?
Hi, it's good to be back again. And I'm Marion Brown with VEOAC, which is the Bay Area Community Health Advisory Council. I represent North County, and we are engaged with, I'm a community outreach specialist, looking to engage more of the North County residents in health initiatives. Like, we establish pop-up vaccination clinics. We support senior centers in their food distributions by handing out PPE supplies and free antigen kits when they're available. And we've also joined with, it's called the YE Project, with the San Mateo County Office of Education. So it's a K-12 workforce development program. And so we get youth involved in, the CTE program, career technical education, and put them to work in areas that they would love to be, like maybe an entrepreneur, or just work with nonprofits and keep them busy. And so this was our first year, and we love to keep our youth busy doing great things. I could go on, but there's one thing. I'm on the board I'm a board trustee with the Bay Shore Elementary School District. So I hope the work I do does not conflict with anything that's going on. I'm recently signed up and am running again for board member. So just putting that out there for North County and Bay Shore.
Thank you, Marian.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank you, Marian. I appreciate that. Hey, everybody, it's Yahaira again. If you all have not seen the spreadsheet, it was posted earlier, but I'll post it again, and it's in the chat. If you're interested in the toolkit, please go into that spreadsheet and sign up. Let me know what you want, what you need. And for clarification, the election materials, the outreach materials, we can personalize them and add your logo to the materials. And that's one of the questions on the Excel sheet. So if you're interested, please note that. Thank you. Go ahead, Petra.
So there are a bunch of people who haven't said anything on the call. Would anybody like to, you don't even have to say what you're doing, but just introduce yourself if you're new to the group.
Good morning. This is Margaret Lukens, and I am the president of League of Women Voters of North and Central San Mateo County. And Margie does a good job of speaking for us, but I just like to listen and learn.
Great. Anybody else want to just say hi?
Sure, I can. My name is Miley. I'm with San Mateo County Health Policy and Planning, and I lead our civic empowerment work. One of the things that I'm trying to do is pull together adult leaders of youth civic empowerment programs. And so we've just started meeting. We're going to meet once a month. It's really to share best practices, challenges, and just get connected and form a broader network of adults who are leading these types of groups. So I'll put my info in the chat if anyone's interested in joining. And then I've also been working with Sarah to see if we can connect the elections office with our COVID vaccination unit so that they can be on site at some of the pop-up vaccination events that they're planning.
Terrific. Kiana, I saw you took yourself off.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Kiana Simmons and I'm a new organizer with the HLC. I'm really happy to be here. I'm working on not a full-on survey, but a small survey to ask a few elected officials how they view housing. But other than that, that's all I'm working on in relation to what you all are doing at the moment, but in the future we can work together. Thank you.
You didn't tell everybody what HLC stands for.
Oh, sorry, Housing Leadership Council in San Mateo County.
They are full of acronyms. Welcome, Kiana. Anyone else?
Yeah, hi, my name's Shauna. I'm here with the Social Unity Project in Pacifica. We are an anti-racist educational organization, a 501c3. We practice somatic abolitionism and embodied anti-racism. This is like our first little foray into civic engagement, but we certainly understand that healing is about community. So we are hoping to do some tabling, do some voter registration out in our community. In addition to the community building that we do, primarily our work for the last 2 years has been educational and also working with the Pacifica Police Department, having really difficult conversations about racism and power. So nice to meet everybody. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Shauna. Phoebe.
Hi, everybody. I'm Phoebe Venkat. I'm sorry I joined late, but I'm representing myself as an individual and also as part of several organizations. We have a newly reformed Asian American Pacific Islander AAPI task force, and we want to make sure that we can educate voters and prospective voters because I don't know if everyone's aware, but historically we have the lowest amount of turnout in our community. So we need to get people educated and out there voting. Thank you.
Good morning. Sorry, Petra.
Oh, go ahead.
My name's Andrea Hill. My pronouns are she and her. I'm with Youth Leadership Institute. I'm a program coordinator who runs 2 programs. One of them is civic empowerment based. Our young folks have been learning the quality of sex education in their schools across the county as they heard over the overturn of Roe versus Wade. So a lot of ramped up energy from our young folks during this time. And we are also looking forward to expand our website with voting resources for youth. We actually have a lot. We heard from our communication team, if you have not checked out this article that one of our young person wrote in the past of why I should vote, it still gets a lot of traction till today. And so in the upcoming fall season, our young person is going to do a follow-up to that op-ed of why they're still continuing to vote. And we're hoping to also engage youth voices on videos as we did last time. And so looking forward to see and collaborate with you all. And thank you for hosting the space, Yahara and Petra.
Thank you, Andrea. Quickly, when you get a chance, can you please send me the article? I would love to add it to the follow-up so the people on this call can know what you're referencing to. It's really important to get the youth voice in this space. So thank you for uplifting that.
I can connect. My name is Lilian Perez Avila, and I'm the Strategy and Advocacy Coordinator at Second Harvest of Silicon Valley. That is a nonprofit that provides food to low-income or no-income households in Santa Clara and San Mateo counties here in California. Basically, our mission is to ensure that everyone who needs a meal can get one. On my department, that is the Department of Strategy and Advocacy, we are trying to, like this year, like really pay attention of community engagement. So this is why we're really interested about like how we can do outreach about voting and like educate people about the importance of this. And I'm really excited to collaborate with you all.
Thank you.
I can go ahead and intro myself. My name is Rakeb. I am the incoming public policy co-chair for the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Silicon Valley chapter. We service both the San Mateo and Santa Clara counties. We have a handful of initiatives across education, health, public policy, economic empowerment, and international outreach. Previously in the past, we've done voter registration drives both at schools like universities, San Jose State, so on and so forth. So we're looking forward to continuing and being back on campus this year, as well as continuing our virtual programming. So, yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we'll let you all the rest of you be silent partners. We'll send a follow-up email with some of these links, and I will turn it over to Diane.
Okay, you got me a little confused. What are you turning over to me for?
To close.
Oh, I'm going to throw it back to you because I don't have the date for the next meeting even. So I'm sorry. You caught me kind of doing something completely different.
Unawares. Anyway, we will meet again on September 21st. It will be a hybrid event. We love to see you all in person. There might be scones. And we meet at the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative community space in Redwood City. It's super easy parking and super cheap parking at that time, but even better, it's really accessible on public transportation, and it's just a short walk from the county offices. So we hope to see you then. In between now and then, we will keep sending email updates. Please sign up for the toolkit if you're interested. We will let you know when the grants are available, and just to keep you all in the loop. So thank you so much for coming. Special welcome to all of the new people, and we will see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye. Have a
Bye.
good day.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.